Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
How are you? Good, good. How was your
Morning.
weekend? hmm
Yeah, pretty good. Relaxing 2 days. Okay.
Good. Busy, busy, busy here. Holy,
This
a
is
bit
this.
crazy, but that's just how it
How,
goes.
how's your wedding party?
Well, that's what I mean. Crazy busy.
Busy,
Ooh,
busy.
lots of. I guess
How many
this.
people?
Oh, this one wasn't huge. This one was only like 350. Wasn't like huge one. Normally they're like 500, but this one was a bit smaller.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, still a lot of people. Uh, but
Hey, how much?
anyways,
Hey, how much money?
uh, let me just check. Down to USD per person.
Down to USD.
Per person, all you have to give is dollars per
Dollars.
person. Just $12 is the minimum, and
Oh,
you can do more or less, up to you. Uh, So we normally give $20 per person. So we give $40, but most people will give $12. Mhm.
oh. The food good or no? Good the food or no? Have the
Actually, the seafood was pretty good. The chicken was a bit boring, but they have a lot of different things, right? Like it's a buffet kind of thing at your table. So we had like a hot pot, we had barbecue shrimp, we had roasted chicken, we had nice salads. Yeah, it was pretty
lot.
good. But yeah, the
Vietnam,
chicken was a bit
Vietnamese
boring.
the party. Vietnamese the party. No outside the people. Oh.
Uh, yeah, no, it's just family basically.
Yeah. Oh.
So
The husband from the Vietnam, wife from the Vietnam.
yeah, both of them are there. The
Oh,
only like remember that Kontum has three foreigners, and I'm one of them.
oh,
So we're not going to foreigner weddings that often. Yeah, nothing to
oh,
do with
oh.
that one. But
The both come from the Vietnam.
yeah,
The Vietnamese the party. Okay.
again, most of the weddings are that because I don't really know that many foreigners here. But
Oh,
anyways,
okay. Very good.
so today I have an article about the trains in Canada. How one guy is going to try to make the trains better in Canada.
You look yesterday the news. Canada sent 30 30 hundred 600 the 30 PR get the equal the people and another people say, oh, we have the equal the visa in visa in the Canada we don't PR and why not get the 600 thousand PR get the all no regular the person. You see,
Uh,
you see,
no. The
immigration. Yeah,
uh,
you look
huh. I'm trying
very
to find anything. I
very
don't
big
see.
the news, and the most Canadian people say, what the tutor what doing? Yeah, maybe the when tutor get the 600 thousand people PR, they don't equal the work, they don't equal the student, they just the in Canada no equal no immigration. Yeah, you
Yep.
look at that. Yeah.
Well, that's quite normal. The issue that ends up happening is imagine you have a huge group of people in your country
Mm.
with no paperwork and they've lived in your country for like 10 years.
Yeah, yeah.
Even if they don't have paperwork, they've
Mm.
lived here for so long that it's a bit weird to not like keep them. Like it's hard to be like, how do we not keep them when they've been here for so long? And some of them might have children. Some of them might like it. It just it gets really awkward. So oftentimes countries like Canada and America, like every, I want to say 10 to 20 years, they'll do one big thing like this. This happens all the time. Like the last one happened back in 2005. The before that it was like 1992. So like this happens all the time. It's like it's every 15 to 20 years they do this. So uh, you think it's big news, but it's normal. This happens all the time.
No big news.
Not really.
Oh,
Because it's big news and not big news. This happens every 20 years. So it is kind of big news because it's once every 20 years. But like this has happened like 5 times in Canada. So like, is this a big deal? Like we kind of knew this was going to happen. The problem is we just don't know, is it going to happen this year, next year? Oh, it happened. Like that's kind of the surprise is, oh, it happened today. So
okay.
yeah, that's all. It's not a crazy thing. But anyways, so one of the issues that we kind of have in Canada is we have a huge train line, 4,500 kilometers, and it's not really good. And we don't really know how to fix it, or we don't really know how to make it better because we don't have big cities to connect, right? Like in China, you connect Beijing to Shanghai. That's like 700 million people. Where if you connect Vancouver to Toronto, you're only connecting like 30 million people. And that's a huge distance. So this is kind of an issue that Canada has. But this guy, I guess this guy, is going to take the trip and kind of figure out what we could do better, what could we change, and try to make this a good thing. But let's see.
Okay. Tyler Beach Rate will be home for the Christmas. He hopes.
Yeah. So he's on this big journey, right? 4,500 kilometers. So he's like, please make it back home on time. But yeah.
On the Sunday, the NDP transportation the critic and MP for the reading of the Skinner Balakidi Valley plans to the level the House of the Commons and start a series of the train radius that will begin in Toronto and more than 4,500 kilometers west in the hometown of the Smile, Smile,
Smithers.
Smithers, or BC, about 200 kilometers inland from the BC's north coast.
Basically saying that it's like 200 kilometers from Vancouver. Like Vancouver's on the water, right? So inland means away from the water. So he's about 200 kilometers from the ocean. Yeah. But yeah, it's just saying this guy, everyone keeps saying that we can fix the trains, especially the NDP. We can fix the trains. But this guy has been saying it a lot. So he's now got to put his money where his mouth is and be like, hey, I'll take this trip and figure out what we can do to fix this. So yeah, he's starting basically in Toronto and going across all of Canada to like Vancouver or close to Vancouver.
Yeah. That the journey could be comply cut by the fact that the passenger trains in Canada are often delayed yet when they have the gift right of why the cargo traffic traveling on some trucks.
So we only have one track right now, or we have a few tracks, but we have so many cargo trains to move oil, move wood, move gold, whatever. And at the moment, passenger trains don't get the right of way. The businesses get the benefit first. So if we need to move oil or we need to move people, the oil goes first, then the people. So that's one of the reasons why traveling by train could be bad in Canada, because if we're waiting for oil, it could take a long time, right?
And that the Kelly, the pond, Bertie Rich journey is party of the quest to the build support for the bill. He introduced the parliament this week.
So yeah, this guy is trying to change this policy with the government. This is why he's doing the trip, so he can figure it out. And so yeah, he's basically figuring out on this huge trip, no matter where you are, what are the problem areas? Like, is it really easy going from Toronto to Winnipeg? Okay, we don't need to fix anything there. What about from Winnipeg to Edmonton? Ooh, there's problems there. Maybe we fix that. So like he's just taking the trip and being like, okay, this is a bad area, this is a good area, this is bad. So he knows what to fix in the government.
Okay, the rail passenger pretty accord cost for the Canada Transportation Act to the amended so that the any time a passenger and the cargo train want to use the same rail line, the passenger train gets the priority.
So again, they just want to reverse it. So at the moment, the materials or the cargo, right, like the oil, the silver, the wood, whatever, gets to go first versus the people. And they just want to change that. The people go first and then the oil second. That's all they want to change at the moment. But we'll see. Oh, and then they're just saying we need to learn from the past of trains to know what to do for the future. Yeah.
That would be a reversal of the usual station now, where the passenger trains like the Via Law are renting truck time from the for light companies, primarily CN Rail.
So again, that's just the opposite of what's happening right now, because Via Rail, the passenger is renting from freight companies, and freight companies don't care about people; they care about their freight, their oil, their blah blah blah. So of course they're going to give priority to what they care about, the company, right? Not the people. But anyways.
That relationship process are prevalent in the very rich writing, where in Callister train traffic to and from the port on the departments repaired often late long days from the people trying to use rail service that runs from the apartments repaired to the butcher's hometown of the Smithers and on the apartments garage and
Jasper. Yep. So basically, going from the hometown near the ocean to the next city, there's a lot of train traffic there, causing huge delays for passengers. So, like, why would I take the train when I could drive faster than the train? Like, that's how bad it is at the moment. because again, you might have to wait for like 3 trains to go before the passenger train can go. So yeah, not good.
Right now, people are avoiding the train because they can't get to where they need to go with any sense of the competency,
Yeah,
which,
consistency.
say, which say,
Basically just saying like, why would you ever use the train if one day you arrive at 1 o'clock and on the other day you arrive at 3 o'clock? Like, it's such a big difference. Some days are going to be early, some days you're going to be late. So why would I ever take the train? Like, that doesn't make sense, right? If you need to go to a job or you need to travel for like vacation or whatever, you want to arrive on time. You don't want to be 2 hours late, 5 hours late. You want to be there, right? So yeah. Also, nice little train
oh,
in the
beautiful.
Rocky Mountains.
Oh, yes.
This is near Jasper. So this is Jasper Mountain.
Yeah. Mako, Berger, CEO of the railway as condition of the Canada, which represents CN
Mhm.
and the CPK's rail, said any the
Legislation.
legislation that the overtakes right of way. One, the rails would need to be balanced against the importance of the efficient flight op fly
Operation.
operations.
So yeah, basically the people who own the freight companies, the cargo companies, are just saying, like, we don't mind changing, of course, to help passengers. However, like, we need to balance the passenger with the cargo. This is a huge economic force for Canada. We use this a lot because a lot of Alberta money, oil and stuff, and like Edmonton, Calgary, a lot of that stuff needs to be using a train. So if you want those areas to be doing well, guess what? You need to be focused on the cargo. So as long as we can balance the cargo and the people, we'll be happy. But be careful not to go too much on the passenger side. That's all they're saying.
Any the passenger the service the person must demonstrate that the ferry capacity to the handle clean and filter and take part violent meats can be the preserved, which is the essential to the support Canada's economy. Bridger said in the emailed statement. The Canadian press in October after where real chief executive
Mario?
Mario Ipe listed.
Philippe Q. Oh, that's French. Don't worry about it.
Cleared on the French government to give passenger trains right of way on the trucks.
Yeah, on the tracks. Yeah, again, they're just reiterating what we said earlier, but they added a bit more, which is basically, hey, be careful with this because think about where this freight comes from and where does it help versus who benefits from the other side of it. So, for example, the cargo helps Alberta and Saskatchewan and Manitoba the most. because that's where they make all their money. But for passengers, that helps Vancouver and Toronto the most. So are we really going to sacrifice 3 provinces just for like 2 cities? Let's be careful. Let's make sure that we can handle all of the capacity for freight in the future. This is an essential part of Canada's economy. So be careful. Yeah.
Both the wage rate and the picker pointed to U.S. Regulations that give the Atlantic passenger cars priority over freight as a model from the proposed regulation.
Yeah, proposed like legislation. So yeah, these 2 guys, the government guy and the trained guy, both of them are like, hey, this is what US has done with Amtrak, where passengers can go in the US before the cargo and stuff. So is this a big deal that Canada can't do? That's all they're saying. Again, the issue isn't so much about priority or whatever. It's more about like how much priority. So like, does these passenger, like 7 passenger trains can go first and then the oil can go? Or is it going to be like one goes, then freight goes, and one goes, then freight goes? Like, how are we going to do the priority? And they think, hey, as long as the US can do it, we can do it.
Page says he is taking his December train trip in order to tune up the support for his proposal and better understand the challenges and the needs of train communities across Canada.
Yep. So again, like he mentioned earlier, I'm going to be traveling this 4,500 kilometer trip so that I can understand this better. Oh, this is a problem area. This is okay. This is bad. This is good. Whatever. He's just trying to check the whole system, right? Not just, oh, this Vancouver area. I want to see British Columbia, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Ontario. Let's see where there's a problem. Yeah. And this is just they're talking about it.
Well, partly
Yeah.
because I need to get home for the Christmas, and after about 100 flights this year, Air Canada and I could use the break from each another older, but more importantly, because it's a chance to experience the state of the passenger rail in Canada.
Yeah. So he's making a bit of a joke. He's like, I do need to get home for Christmas, and I don't want to be on Air Canada. I don't want to fly with Air Canada again. We need a break. So let's take the train. He's making a bit of a joke, but yeah.
I'm pretty familiar with the passenger train, the Skinner in the northwest BC, but this is going to give me a chance to talk to passengers and communities right across to the country about reason for the Canada catching up the rest of the world and having available passenger train service, which we don't right now.
Yeah. Basically saying that the rest of the world, look at China, look at Europe, look at even America, has a better train system for passengers. Like you can take the train and it's not that big a deal. Where Canada is like one of the only developed countries in the world that has a horrible train system. The only other country that would be similar to Canada that's developed and has a bad train system would be Australia. But Australia has its own problems. And so, yeah, this is ridiculous. We need to catch up to the rest of the world. Yeah. And then we're going to talk about what are the frustrations, what are the bad things about our system. Yeah.
I think the biggest thing right now is that the passenger train has to make way from the flyjet traffic, and that has the resulted in the vast inability to keep constant such
Schedule. So again, they're just talking about the schedule. Is it always going to be the same? Is it like, why is this not working? Why is it not consistent? It's like sometimes we do it, sometimes we don't do it. That's a big problem that people have.
Where used to make it from Toronto to Vancouver in 3.5 days, both because of this the challenges selling the trucks, which CN and CP it now takes 4.5 days to do the same truck.
Mm-hmm. So in the past, it only took 3.5 days because we didn't have that many trains yet. So we didn't have to worry about like, oh, this one goes and this one goes. We could just always go. However, nowadays with so much trains and not like making our train system bigger, it takes 4.5 days now. So an extra day of travel for no reason. Like, why would we ever want that, right?
Okay. We can get the more people reading the train if they don't know when the train is going to show up the station.
Yeah. How are we ever supposed to get people to use the train if they don't know they're going to arrive on the 7th or the 8th? It could be a full day difference and they don't know when they're going to arrive. Why would anyone use the train? Use a plane instead, right? Sorry, I think we switched now. Yeah.